Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or should I say good afternoon? How you guys doing today? We're back at it again with another one, baby. Knicks are back on track. They got their win last night. They beat the Cavaliers. Emmanuel quickly didn't play, but they didn't need him. They had McBride, they had Quentin Grimes, and they had Mr. Obi Toppin to take care of things, to handle their business. Got my partner Zenway doing his little intro, and we're gonna talk about what we saw from last night's game. Sorry we couldn't do a post game last night. Game ended a little bit late. And as always, family above everything, that comes first. And this is why we're doing an early show today. Talk about last night's key victory as the Knicks are wrapping up the summer league. Let's bring my partner in here and see what he has to say on what his take was from last night's W against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Happy Sunday to you guys, and I hope you're doing great. And let's get it.
To for tryouts, and a lot of them won't obviously make it. I mean, Valdoza, um, I think he's the one with the foot problem. Quickly had a minor foot problem as well. So, Juby,
What's up, Rick? How you doing,
welcome
brother?
to Zen Ray Sports TV.
Good afternoon. Good
And
afternoon. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
impressive showing once again. And I was just saying, it's just summer league, but looks like McBride and Quentin Grimes, 51 combined points. They look unstoppable yesterday. Grimes looked like the real deal. Like he was aggressive in shooting the ball, and he shot the ball and did whatever basically what he did. And he is that typical 3-and-D player that we were looking for because he's another on-ball defender like McBride that plays very, very good defense.
Yeah, definitely, man. Emmanuel quickly could have played yesterday because of summer league, and I think that was a little bit of an experiment, if you will, on the low, to see how this team can handle it without an Emmanuel quickly running the show. And let's just say they did a phenomenal job. The two young, the two young stars took matters into their own hands, along with Obi Toppin, who did his Obi Toppin he had regular game that he always has. He had a little bit less than the other night, but McBride and Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes finally had a breakout game. I know he's young, and I know it's gonna take time for him to develop a little bit more, but he looks like he's gonna be good. And McBride, man, as we stated yesterday in our pregame show, the guy's the real deal, man, real deal.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find some minutes for McBride. I think he is the key when Rose and Kemba have too many minutes on a back-to-back night. You can see a combination of Quickly and McBride. And I think once McBride shows, remember, we had Alfred Payton. Payton was there for his defense. That's the reason they said they wanted Alfred Payton out there. And he didn't do too much with the ball in terms of shooting offensively. So I'm saying, why can't they do the same thing with this kid McBride? You know, McBride is not only he's a better defenseman, playing defense, and he can do a lot more offensively than Alfred Payton. So I don't know why Thibodeau can't do the same. But once again, you have to show this when you're in camp. Camp should be coming up, and they're going to be inviting a lot of players, and a lot of players will make it. Luka Vildoza is out on a foot injury, and I think Quickly had some kind of minor, small injury as well. I think something with the ankle. So that's why Quickly didn't play. They want to take no chances on him. Then playing him, and they want him to watch a little bit. But those are days I think are numbered here in New York, and I think this kid McBride is the man to be in that Nick rotation.
I agree. And also the Lithuanian point guard is officially done. I read it today that he's actually going back overseas. That his agreement, and this was per him and Knicks management, was to display his talents for 3 summer league games, which he did, and get a glimpse of him on his style of play and what he could bring to the team in the future. As far as getting McBride some minutes, I think you hit it right on the target. I think when it's a doubleheader or back-to-back nights, if you will, I think you'll have a Kemba Walker or Derrick Rose have the night off, depending on how the injuries are going. And if that happens, let's say on the back-to-back night, they may give Derrick Rose off, and then they'll play in the backup rotation McBride in quickly. I don't think we're going to see McBride the way we saw Elfrid Payton. You got to remember, Elfrid Payton was our starting point guard. Even though he started the game and he didn't end it, he was our starter. That is not going to happen this season. This season, you better believe it, Kemba Walker is going to be the Knicks starting point guard. with Derrick Rose being the number two. But like I said, on back-to-back nights, you have an option of McBride and quickly to help you in that rotation. But either way, the guys are gonna find this past season, the way Obi Toppin and Emmanuel quickly got their minutes last season. I foresee McBride and Quentin Grimes getting those kind of minutes from like the guys had last season. So that's
Yeah,
what I think is gonna happen.
Quentin Grimes, I think, is going to have a tougher time
Yeah.
getting minutes. Remember, I would rather him play in the G League and develop. I don't think I'm trying to figure out with Evan Fournier there. Uh, you got RJ. You've got Obi. Where are you gonna find? You got Burks, and unless somebody gets injured, like a Burks or something like that, I can see him coming in. I wouldn't want him to be like the 11th man on the team or 12th man on the team and not get playing time and lose the production. I think the Knicks will make that same mistake twice. I think Obi should have started last year somewhere in the summer league a little bit and come back later on just to get his feet, especially after not having a summer league last year. But hey, but I think that's what's going to happen with Quentin Grimes. I think Quentin Grimes is going to end up probably in G League probably for a couple of months. And then from there on, the Knicks will bring him up sometime during the year and give him some more playing time, or find some playing time for him. Or if he impresses in camp, you're going to have to find room for him as well. If he played the way he played last night, and remember, they're playing G Leaguers are undrafted players. So look, you can look like an all-star, you can look very good, but McBride's game is different. His game translates to the NBA. He plays defense, which Tibbs loves, and Grimes as well. He played Kate Cunningham the other night. He was on him, on ball defender. So I wouldn't be surprised if these two players you'll find time for them, and a guy like Burks maybe loses time. I don't know. Well, but we'll see. We'll find out. Thibodeau likes his experienced players. He likes Burks, so we'll find out. But what do you think in terms of Sims? Do you think he has a shot in breaking the rotation?
No, I think we got a glimpse of what Sims can bring to the table, and unless you got severe injuries or injuries or some trades happen, I think Sims is going to start in the G League, which is nothing wrong with that. Just develop him. We finally got a good development management team, and I think he has a bright future with us. Especially if some trades happen down the line or we lose some forwards or if they get hurt. But it's a good problem to have. You said we got to find minutes for these players, but that's a good thing. I know it sounds bad, but when you have depth the way the Knicks do right now and you have to try to find these guys minutes, there's teams that are starving for this kind of talent. And it just shows that the Knicks did their homework. They brought the band back together, the main pieces, and added some new pieces. And if you're Tom Thibodeau, this is the problem you're loving to have. You got to find
Yeah,
minutes for everybody.
I agree with Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims had 8 points, like 9 rebounds, and a couple of block shots. He was 2 or 3 from the field. He looked. I mean, he looks like a guy that with more training with the coaches and more playing time in the G League, I could see him next year being in the Nick rotation easily. Uh, Grimes and McBride, we spoke about them. I think definitely you'll find room for them. If you play well, you're gonna play. I think you have to say, look, Brooks always got injured, so I can see Quentin Grimes getting time because Brooks he gets injured. You have Kemba who has his issues with injuries, and you have Rose. Like if you overplay him, you get injuries. So I can see these rookies getting playing time somehow, some way. And I think I agree with you with the fact that they'll get Obi and quickly minutes in terms of what they did last year in that same way. But talking about Obi looked like he is confident. I mean, look, this is like Obi playing street ball against guys on the street. I mean, he's dominated. He could have done. Look, the guy we know he's talented. Let's see if he can convert this with bigger guys. I don't think he'll be able to push bigger guys. He's not as strong yet enough to deal with these guys. I just want the Knicks to give him opportunity at the 5 and at the 4 when Randall is not playing. I want him to at least double his minutes, get between 20 and 25 minutes, and see what we really have with Obi against NBA talent.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna do very well. I don't think he's gonna dominate the way he's been dominating the summer league. Whenever he wants to get positioned down low, he's been getting it. But I think he's going to be a talent, a force to be reckoned with, man. The guy got a jump shot from outside. He can play with his back to the basket. Like I said yesterday, he reminds me of a young Amari Stoudemire. But I think he might have a better jump shot than Amari Stoudemire did in his time. But physique wise, body wise, athletic wise, definitely I see an Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, if you will, of the old days, but with a jump
Right.
shot.
Yeah, I agree. His jump shot is equivalent to Stoudemire's jump shot. It's just that a Stoudemire never had a three-pointer. I mean,
Yeah,
he shot the occasional three here and there.
yeah.
Obi seems like he's confident shooting the three almost anywhere on the floor.
Yeah, I
So,
saw I saw him running up the court, and he actually went to the 3 point line off the dribble, and he can shoot. He shot it, so the guy can create. He's not just a spot up shooter; he can create his own shot. Just like McBride, I saw McBride do a fadeaway off the dribble and off the backboard yesterday. Like these are the kind of things that I look for in a game. I like to see players that I know everybody in the NBA when you're a guard and you're supposed to be able to hit a wide open jump shot. We're talking about creating a shot when the defense is on you, breaking down your defender. And that's what I saw last night from Obi Toppin, McBride, and even Quentin Grimes. And a couple other guys at the Summer League that I know we're not really speaking about. Jordan had a couple of moments. I feel bad. The guy looks like he's a decent player, but there's no chance he makes the roster. It looks like he just got maybe he gets an opportunity with another team who's looking for talent.
or the G League probably. Somewhere
Or
in
the
the
G
G League.
League.
I don't think he's NBA ready, but you never know. I mean, most of these guys are try for the team. Most of them won't make it. But look, getting to Grimes. Grimes had 28 points, eight from 20 from the field. He was 6 or 7 from the free throw line. Had 7, 8 rebounds. Had like 5 assists and had a block shot. I mean, this guy plays defense, and that's the key to Grimes. And plus, remember when we had Bullock was, and you mentioned it well. We need players that can create shots. When we had Bullock, he was only known like a Novak type of player who's there spot up shoot on three. These
Exactly.
guys, and that's what killed them in the series against Atlanta. They didn't have guys who can create. Well, we picked up an Evan Fournier. We have a Quentin Grimes who can create a shot, and we have a McBride who can create a shot. So think about what the Knicks drafted and the players that brought in here. That's the reason we lost to Atlanta. We had spot up shooters. We didn't have nobody else to create the shot besides, and there's something also that RJ has to work on creating a shot. He's more of a spot up shooter as well. If you really find RJ going making a shot from the outside and creating his own shot, he's working on that. I think it was something like 36% in field goal percentage in terms of creating a shot. So that's a field he can get better at. So you hit it right in the head. We need players and great shot. I think RJ is on his way doing that. You know that that our that our center that our four he can do it. Fournier can do it. Grimes now you can see that he can do it. And McBride. So we have players like Randall and RJ who are the leaders of this team, I think. And we follow them and we go from there.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, Derrick Rose was doing it after the trading deadline, and we picked him up. He was doing it, and that's why Derrick Rose is not the greatest defender, but he was able to break down the defense, find the open man, hit that running layup that Manuel quickly has been developing. So I think he's had some practice with Derrick Rose in regards to that aspect, and with that running floater, he's getting better and better with it. And yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it's all about effort. It's all about playing defense. The Knicks lacked, like I said, creating off the dribble last season. Besides Julius Randle, you hit it, R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. Every NBA scout, every NBA team knew that they're always going to go left. And like I said yesterday, joking around because Stephen A. Smith, they've been kidnapped and they tied their hand. But I've heard that they've been working on that, going right this whole summer. They've been getting together. The one thing that I'm very surprised about, and I actually feel kind of bad, and we don't really we spoke about him in the past, but we don't see him. I don't understand why Kevin Knox didn't join the summer league. I'm really baffled
No,
why.
he's COVID. He was supposed to be in the summer league. He caught COVID.
Oh, you see, that's something.
Yeah,
This is why
yeah.
two heads are
That's
better
the
than
reason.
one.
No, COVID. He was the protocols. First he caught it. He first he caught it earlier, and I think he was with the I think with the tryouts with the U.S. team as well, and I think he caught it there as well. From there on, they did a protocol, and I think COVID something protocols, and
Wow,
that's the
wow.
reason he
That that's
he
sad for the guy, man. I would have liked to see that little
that
dynamic
would
duel of him and
have
Toppin quickly. It would have been a good opportunity to showcase what he has to bring. Because remember, the first year we drafted him, he had an explosive summer league. We were all excited, and then nothing. Just disappeared, got lost in the rotation,
I
looked
think he
kind
was
of baffled out there, like a deer in headlights. I feel bad for him because I know he's talented and he's athletic. It's just, I don't know where, with these rookies now that we've picked up and all these players that we have, I don't know where Kevin Knox fits in this team, to be honest with
look, he has some bad luck. Like if you would, you mentioned, and I'm glad you brought his name up. I mean, just imagine Kevin Knox here, what he could have done. You know, with a trio of Kevin Knox, quickly and Obi. It shows you that the guy, since he's been kind of drafted, things haven't gone his way after the first summer league because he looked good in the first summer league. After that, with between management and different coaches and different things, the kid's head is not on screw right. These coaches seem like they're trying to get him back to where he was. Um, and he's just, I mean, it would have been great having him, but I think his time here, I think, is done. I think he'll be involved in some kind of trade package.
you. I think he
Um,
will. His
there's
value
no
is a
room
little
for
bit
it.
down right now. So
There's no room for him. I think he'll be like the 12th man on the team if he makes the team. Um,
yeah.
I think they have to make a move and trade him maybe for a second rounder or something like that and cut your losses. A lot of teams can use him. You know, send him to a team where he's going to get playing time. He's not even the card. I mean, if you didn't bring him up, I would have forgotten about him because he's
I just brought him up because we were so high on him a few years ago. We were excited. You know, I know I went back and forth with you. I wanted Porter Jr., you wanted Knox, and then you kind of convinced me on Knox. And then, like I look for him every night. And even last night I was sitting there watching the game, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm glad you brought it up that he got COVID because I didn't even know that. I was like, why is Kevin Knox not in the summer league? This is the perfect opportunity for him to showcase his talent, but it comes to show you, like you said, bad luck sucks. I wish him well. I hope he recovers well, good health, and I hope he shows something, man. Because if not, he definitely needs to go on a team that doesn't have a lot of scoring, and he needs to be given the opportunity because he's a young kid. He's only 20, 21, if that. He's a young kid, very talented, and I think teams will be lucky to have him at except for a second round price, or maybe that trade package that comes in February for Damian Lillard. Maybe Portland takes a chance on him because Portland's gonna be. They only got C.J. McCollum and Powell, that guy that you spoke about. So maybe with Obi Toppin, unfortunately, and a Mitchell Robinson or Noel and a Kevin Knox and some draft picks, they'll pull the plug.
yeah. Noel, I think will be here. I think you'll definitely lose Mitchell Robinson, Obi, Knox. Um,
Quickly,
and you get
I think is off. I think Quickly and R.J. Barrett. I highly doubt that Knicks management trades those two guys, especially what I've been seeing with Tom Thibodeau and Emmanuel Quickly, the relationship that they're having. I think if teams call and ask for Emmanuel Quickly, I think right off the bat that they'll say thank you, but no thank you.
Hey, quickly is a piece to our puzzle. You're not going to trade a guy with his talent, and you can see he has some point guard capabilities. He's averaging like 8 assists a game when he's on the floor. So you can use a guy who can see the field and can shoot. I mean, look, he shot I think in the 5 games 37% from the field. It's not the greatest, but look, he took the shot. The shot didn't go in. He had a couple of off nights. It doesn't make him a bad shooter. And he's still young enough to keep on making his craft better. So I'm high on Quickly. I'm actually high on Obi too. I want the Knicks to give him some playing time
Me
and
too.
see what this guy can do. And if you have to make a trade to give up Obi because there's no room for him, then do it. But give this kid a chance in New York to show what he's made of. It's only going to happen in camp. And, you come in camp and you play hard. And already Thibodeau knows what Obi can do, his strong points and weak points. And I think Obi knows that as well. His weak points, he needs to get stronger down low. Because he's
Yeah.
pushing these G Leaguer guys or these guys who are undrafted in the summer league like butter. Like he's like slicing right through them. In the NBA, as you saw last year, he tried to do it. He couldn't do it. These guys are too big and strong to even push around. But he gets a little stronger. His footwork is getting better. I see Obi being an above average defensive guy, like you said, Maurice Stoudemire type with better defense, obviously. and with a better shot, because you could stretch the floor shooting a three. Imagine a big guy out there shooting a three. It's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, and that's what team looks for. The NBA is shifting. It was a point guard dominated league, but I think it's becoming more of a big man who can shoot the ball. Look at the Joker from Denver, 7 footer. The guy runs points sometimes, comes down the floor, shoots the open three, shoots threes. That Dirk Nowitzki was one of the OGs to establish that kind of style of gameplay. 7 footer, creating his own shot. Kristaps Porzingis one time, Nick. They thought that he was going to be that, but it's not working out too well for him. From what I'm hearing in Dallas, I think his days are probably numbered in Dallas too if they can get rid of him as well. But on a Nick note, man, I'm excited for what I see. We got one more game left, I believe, which is tomorrow night. And I think that wraps up the NBA
It was
summer
five
league.
games. I think it was 5 games only. They make an extra
No, they,
game.
they they made an extra game. Yeah, they made an extra game. So we have one more. I forget off the top of my head who they're playing tomorrow night. But they announced it yesterday, Monday night game, and it's I'm excited. It's only August. Preseason doesn't start until October. Players report to camp at the end of September. So we still got a little bit of time to speculate and to hope and want. But so far, everything looks good. I see everything on paper looks good. It's gonna be time soon to put the talent on the showcase.
I agree, man. They're gonna have a lot of people vying for playing time. If you had to pick 12 players off the top of your head who will make the team or who will be the top 12 players on the Knicks rotation, it's pretty easy to probably figure that one out. But it all depends what happens in camp. So, if give me your top 10 at least, your rotation for the team,
Well,
because Thibodeau plays what, usually 8 to 10 players sometimes.
no, he's more of a six. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to open up. He's more of a 7 to 7 man rotation kind of coach. But with the
Right.
talent that you have, you're gonna have to open up that a little bit. Of course, my starting five I said yesterday is it's a given. It's Kemba Walker, point guard, Fournier, my shooting guard, R.J. Barrett, my three, Julius Randle, my four, and my five, Norwins Noel. My bench would be Mitchell Robinson at the five, Obi Toppin at the four, Quentin Grimes. Me personally, I know Alex Burke is there, but you know I would like
I
Quentin.
would say toss up between both. I think between
Yeah,
Alex and Grimes.
yeah. And then your backup shooting guard is gonna be Emmanuel Quickly and Derrick Rose. Those are my 10 to 11 players that I definitely see. And McBride, of course. But I think, the odd man's out are Luca Veldoza, odd man out, sure. The Lithuanian point guard, I told you he's going back overseas, so we don't have to worry about him. And Taj Gibson is going to probably be our bench coach and somebody, like he said, step in kind of player. So we don't have to worry about him too much. But everybody else, I don't see him. I don't see them making any kind of rotation.
Yeah, the only change I would make, the only difference if Mitchell Robinson is healthy, I would put Mitchell Robinson in my starting rotation and have Noel coming off the bench. That will be the only change. The only time you'll see Noel in there if Mitchell Robinson is not there, and that'll open the spot for
Obi.
Obi as playing your five and a Taj Gibson as well. So that's interesting. So you say that, and then your 11, 12 players will be somebody like Kevin Knox and probably.
I didn't even mention him just to show you
Yeah,
guys that I don't have.
he'll probably make the team. Definitely, he'll make the team. He'll probably be he'll get in the rotation if somebody gets injured, but there's no room because if you look at the team, if you put in McBride and Grimes in there, that means you're talking about Burks and Knox being your 11 and 12 guys. So think about that. So and not even because I think with McBride that's 13.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a good problem to have, man. So that's why I see Grimes. That's why I see Grimes being in the G League, developing his game more. And if Brooks get injured, you bring him up. You put him on a two-way contract, bring him up, and go from there. Hey, listen, the Knicks are on the right track. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Come October, like you mentioned, the tryouts to make in that rotation. There'll be a lot of people. Maybe there'll be a trade involved where you can solidify this team, but I don't think, like you mentioned a couple of shows back, I think that's going to happen in February in the trading deadline. where a player like Lillard will be fed up with losing and he'll decide to, hey, it's time for me to go.
Yeah, because he made his case. He said it himself, and I quote, the team didn't do anything to upgrade their team this season, this upcoming season. He's seen teams like LA, like New York, like Chicago. Everybody else made moves, and Portland lost Carmelo Anthony to the Lakers, and they just brought back Powell. So if you're Portland, and they lost, and it's Cantor to Boston. So if you're Damian Lillard, you're sitting there baffled, going, "What the hell is going on here?" So I honestly think that guy is gonna have it, and he's gonna say, "Listen, I'm dropping 30, I'm dropping 40, but the way this is going, we're gonna be a first round exit again, and we're gonna be at the bottom of the playoff pool." So I foresee him demanding a trade come February, like I said earlier. It's just a matter of fact of what we're willing to give up for him. And I know we got the Fantastic Four in our organization. They know what the Four Horsemen. They know
Oh,
what
yeah,
they're doing, so they'll
I
be all
agree.
right.
I agree. I think this organization on the right track. So I know we're predicting this in a little early. 82 game schedule. How many wins do you think the Knicks will have this year?
I want to say they had what they finished with 43 last season.
They're 41, but there was only 72 games they played.
41. I'm gonna up that by 5. I'm gonna
Okay.
say they're gonna have 45 to 47 wins this
Okay.
season. That's what I
I'm a
say. And
li- Go ahead. I'm a little bit more optimistic. Go ahead. Finish your statement there.
I think that like I said before, I think I see them battling for the fourth to fifth spot, maybe possibly sixth. I don't see them at the bottom of the. I still think they're better than Chicago. The teams I think that they're going to be battling with is Atlanta and Miami. It's the East. The East got a lot better. I'm so excited that I'm even going to talk to my partner and maybe we can get together and actually go to a Knick game this season. This upcoming season. And I have yet to. I haven't said that in a few years that I want to go to a Knick game. But I really want to. I'm excited. And when I do, I'll definitely go live and show you guys where we at, and it'll be exciting.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's exciting time, and that's why I think Knicks will win a little bit more, barring any injuries. I say this team is a 48 to 50 win team.
Ooh,
Um, and
high
I think that
expectations.
barring injury, I mean, if Kemba does what Kemba does, and barring any injury, and our backups do what they're supposed to do, like we know what they're capable of doing, I can see the Knicks easily winning 48 games and topping off at 50 if everything goes well. And I can see the Knicks, like you said, between 4 and 6 in terms of a playoff spot, which isn't too bad because a lot of the East has gotten better. But don't be surprised that if Thibodeau gets his team rolling the way I think he is, don't be surprised if they surpass the 50 game win and they get up to 52 wins, 53 wins. I'm not saying they're going to do that.
Well,
I'm more in the 48, 50 range.
if they get 50, if they get 48 plus wins, I can see them battling for that third place spot. We with Philadelphia because we know that Brooklyn is gonna do that hands down. And you know that Atlanta's probably gonna do that. So you never know. Maybe and Milwaukee. That's why I meant Milwaukee. Excuse me. So it's Brooklyn, Milwaukee, and then Philadelphia. Then it's everybody else. So we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, in 50 games, we'll definitely be in the top three. I
Yeah,
think.
don't forget Chicago and the Heat. They made a lot of moves.
Chicago's not better than New York. They're death.
I don't think
They
they're
got
better, but I
their
think they'll be up in the 40s in terms of wins, and I think the Heat will be close to a 50 game win team too. Look, let's see how the scenes develop. It's going to be interesting. It all depends, barring injury and what goes on. But I think Thibodeau, the organization, Fantastic Four, have the Knicks on the right track. Juby, if you have any else things to say about the Knicks, and but I think the Knicks had a great showing so far at Summer League. They have one more game. As my partner just mentioned, I thought it was over, but they added an extra game. So, with that said, Juby, I just want to thank you for being on the show, and
sure.
I want to thank everyone who's here and watch the show and takes the time to watch me and Juby. I want to make sure you guys are enlightened by the universe and get and be prosperous and have peace and love in your heart, knowing that the best is yet to come. Juby, we'll talk soon.
Absolutely, brother. We'll figure it out Wednesday next week. I know you got a busy schedule this upcoming week. So you just reach out to me and let me know what day you want to get together and talk to our viewers. But the Knicks definitely. I'm trying to look up right now. I'm sorry, guys, who they play tomorrow, and I just can't find that. I know they do play because I just read something that there's going to be certain team that's going to play a sixth game. Don't know who it is yet, but look out.
All right. Zen Ray out, and maybe we'll do the after the Monday game. We'll do a Tuesday showing in the afternoon by noon.
All
All
right,
right.
sounds good.
Thanks, Juby. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for letting me be involved in your podcast, my brother. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy your Sunday, man. Later, bro.
You too. Zen Ray out. Thank you.
All right, guys. That was Zenray with Zenray Sports TV. You can catch his link on my bio. You'll find his YouTube channel. But I wanted to thank you for stopping by on a Sunday afternoon with us and taking his time to sit here and chat with us a little bit about the Knicks last night. And as my partner said, the best is yet to come. Want you guys to enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Be safe. Practice social distancing. I know it's a lot of crazy times, and I know that's why we come on here to kind of forget on what's going on out there. And yeah, that's it, guys. So enjoy your Sunday and family above everything. All right, peace.
Father, his parent, shit. Humble. I'm digging into this, honestly, knowing it's more than what I could see. Can't predict what's my future holding, my past far behind me. I know that life can get grimy, that's why I'll never look back, cause I already know what's behind me. Dear humble Lord, please come find me. Yes, I go hard for my son and my daughter, never could fail as a father. Been new to the times will be hard, believe me, of that I'm not bothered.